It's my deepest honor to share this year's GSCA Outstanding Achievement Award with dear Jonathan, and to present it to his wife, his creative partner, his soulmate, Wendy.
Thank you to the GSCA. It is an incredible honor. Thank you to my son Tyler, who created that video, which I wouldn't look at, no matter how much he asked me to look at it. So thanks to Tyler and Sam and the wonderful team at SK. It's been very challenging and brutal, and bittersweet time. It was all very unexpected. But Jonathan made us all laugh right till the end. And when you look at his life, and he was able to pack in several lifetimes into one when it came down to it. And I was thinking, what can I say to you? Maybe some things you don't know about Jonathan already. He was born in Chicago. His family originally came over in the Mayflower. And so there was daughters and sisters of the Mayflower and all of that. And Jonathan was a bit of the black sheep of the family. His mother told him when he decided he wanted to go into filmmaking, she said, "Oh no, darling, you make your millions and then you give to the arts. You don't be in the arts." And Jonathan was always raffish to the wind and followed his heart. And he loved this medium, and he loved making the films. He would love to go into the theaters and just hide out and watch kids reach out for butterflies, or what was happening with the adventures in Amazon Adventure. And because our family passion is scuba diving, going around the world to scuba dive and sometimes to be involved in those kind of films. And he really loved people. He had a joie de vivre which was really, really exceptional, and part of the reason I fell for him. And so he felt he was a very blessed man, that he got to do the thing he was passionate about, and that thing he felt did have an impact on people, and especially for science literacy, and as he said in the clip. He also felt that he was blessed, and I feel what a lucky gal was I to have such a, en français, a coup foudre, like a thunderbolt of love, and at every possible level. It was very dynamic, 2 A personalities getting together, and to be able to work with him. When I left, because I was in the private sector for a while, and when he convinced me to work with him, I think I quit about 10 times in the first 2 weeks. I kept saying, "That's it, I quit." Like, "I quit, you're an asshole. You'll be back." He kept saying, as I would walk out the door, "You'll be back, I know you'll be back. If not, I'll see you later tonight." So he was raffish to the winds, and I mean, his children and his stepchildren loved him. And as you all know, as I think I was saying to Daniel and Taryn today, he was an equal opportunity insulter. He just, nothing was sacred. And the fact that we have formed some cherished friendships and so many warm and fond memories, and he really loved life. So we haven't yet picked a date to have the celebration of life for him yet. We know where it's going to be, but I said that I had to go for 3 full days without something triggering me and making me cry, and that hasn't happened yet. But I want to leave you with a story, a fun story. It's not really about the film industry, the giant screen industry. It's really more about the essence, of Jonathan. And it was fairly early on in our relationship, and we were part of a group that was lobbying the Conservative government for more money for the film industry. So there was a group of us, And Jonathan and I left because we were working in government at that time at the Ontario Film Development Corporation. And we were having one of those inane conversations that only a couple, or in this case a budding couple, were having. And I was telling him that, you know, women didn't, you know, change their minds like that. They weren't like impulsive, it was nuanced, it was gray. And I was implying to him he might be able to use some of that wisdom and go at things in a more evolved kind of way, bit by bit. And he said, is that what you think? I said, yeah, I really think that. And I said, and by the way, we're going to the Conservative government and you're wearing pink pants. So I'm going to call this the pink pants story. So we're going along Bloor Street, and for those who've been in Toronto, it's a big, big street, and we're right by Bloor and Yonge. And I said, he said, well, what's wrong with these pink pants? I said, well, I don't know, they look like sort of golf, or they're leftover from your private schoolboy days, I don't know. And I said, plus, I need to tell you, you have a rip on them and a stain on them. So he stood there and he said, so you don't like the pink pants? I said, no, I don't like the pink pants at all. And so he proceeded to undo his belt and he dropped his pants. and so there, and people were laughing, and you know, there was people pointing at one another, and he's standing there and his pants are right underneath. He said, so you don't like them? And I said, well, put your pants back up. I said, you look ridiculous. And he said, no, I don't, like, if you don't like them, like, I'll take them right off, you know. I said, well, we have to go to the meeting. He said, no, if you don't like them. I said, well, upon reflection, I do like them a little bit. Just a little bit, right? So he said, well, how much do you like them? I said, listen, you better stop this. You're really on, and you stop it, right? Stop it. And people are laughing and whatever. I said, okay, put the pants back on. So you like the pants then? I said, yes, I like the pants. So he pulls the pants back up, and then we start to, I said, oh God, and he said, so women do change their minds really quickly. After all, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Wendy, Jonathan never told me how smart his mother was, but I think we're all glad that he did like most of us and didn't follow his mother's instructions. All right, so thank you very much. Now I'd like to introduce my co-MC for the rest of the program. And of course, we had to find another Southerner to do this, along with me, of course. And so Joni Vandenberg Phillip from Discovery Place in Charlotte, North Carolina is joining us.
Thank you, Gordon. Tonight's GSCA Achievement Awards falls into several categories: filmmaking, marketing, and lifelong learning. Film award winners are determined by member vote, while the marketing and education awards are judged by a panel of past winners and experts in those fields. Supporting a film with marketing, campaign, and education programs can make the difference between a film that fades from memory, and one that is a financial success, extends the giant screen experience long after the lights come back up in the theater. There were wonderful campaigns submitted for consideration this year, and they'll all be featured in the marketing library on the GSCA website soon, so we can share more about their programs, and other theaters can borrow ideas. Let's take a look at some of the outstanding marketing and education programs that theaters and distributors created this year.